that is the first word of the sentence is capital. And in Microsoft Word you have got also fourth thing, that is capitalize each word, right? Now whatever you have typed in any of the four ways, when you apply this function to that text lying in any of the cell, the thing will be converted into smaller font, that is lowercase. The general form of the function is equal to lower into bracket the cell address where you have typed something, or directly you can type the text in double quotes. Now example is given, but that we'll do practically. Now the next function is upper function. Upper function is just opposite to that of lower function. Upper function turns all the given characters into uppercase. The general form or syntax is equal to upper into bracket text or any cell reference. For example, if you want to convert this school, that is a text, in if you type it like this way, is equal to upper into bracket double quote school double quotes over bracket close, it will return the school in all capital. I don't understand why this textbook has given this stupid example. We don't want to convert the text directly. We always take the cell reference. So the better example is given here. That also we'll discuss in practicals. The next same type of function is proper function. Now proper function capitalize each word's first letter. So we can also say that proper function turns the first alphabet from all the given characters into uppercase and the remaining into lowercase. The general form, that is syntax, is equal to proper into bracket text or cell reference. For example, if you want to convert this capital school, you have to type this thing what is given here. It will convert it into S capital, remaining letter small of the school. Here we are going to learn the first three string functions, that is upper, lower and proper. Now I already typed the functions here. You can see it is displayed in the formula bar. Here also I have typed the functions and kept it ready. And as cell reference I have taken A2 here. Now just now I have not typed anything in A2, that is why it is not displaying anything. Fine, now I type something here. I type the word school. So at once you can see that it gets capitalized over there. Now lower, I type the word welcome, for example. So it gets converted into lower. Now in proper, I am typing I love my school. Now I do a new experiment, that SCH. Now CH I type in big and rest of the letters in small, and again L in capital, right? So that looks awkward, but proper function converts it like this way. In Microsoft Word, this thing is known as capitalize the first letter of each word. Fine, so this was all about upper, lower and proper. Now the next function we are going to learn is Roman function. Now Roman function converts the decimal number provided to it into its equivalent Roman number. For your kind information, in Roman the numbers are from 0 to 3999, that is 3999. There is no bigger number than that in Roman. Now in Roman, 8 could be written as VIII and IIX also. Now I don't agree with the textbook here. We never write 8 like this way, IIX, right? But textbook author is great, so he can imagine anything. Now the syntax is Roman into bracket number comma mode. Now what is this mode? The second argument of the function is about such mode representing the value which could be 0, 1 or 3. 0, 1, 2 and 3. Now the fact which is not mentioned in the textbook is there is no need to type any mode. You have to straight away enter the number. And in mode also the value which are given here may differ. That I will teach you when we do the practicals. Now opposite to Roman is Arabic function. It is used to convert the number typed in Roman into decimal numbers. Okay. Arabic function considers a Roman number as its argument and converts it into Arabic number or decimal number. Now practically I will teach you both the functions. Now we are going to learn Roman and Arabic function. Roman and fine. Now I take a simple number here, say 1 to 5, and if I want to find the Roman number of that, then I have to type Roman into bracket B2. So I will get the answer CXXV. Now we try a simple number, that is first I will drag this thing. This also I will drag. Now I enter simple numbers to test whether it is giving correct result or not. For example 3 or say 9, right? Yeah, it's giving correct result. But when the number is more, for example 999, then as it is given in the textbook, it will display you different values. How it will display? First I will drag this thing here. I will delete this part. Now here the thing which we had not attempted was the optional part. Now we will attempt that thing and I will show you. See here, when I type Roman and open the bracket, it displays me first thing is number. So I take this number B6, comma. Now here it displays the form. This result which we got on its own, that is by default, was 0. Now if I choose here 1, okay, then it will give me a different output, right, of the same number, that is 999. So like that way there are 1, 2 and 3 options and all will give different answers. So now I take 2. Now I will not take 4, I will just complete here. Right? Fine. Now Arabic. Now for example, we want to find the Arabic or CXXV, whether it is coming 125 or not. Let's check. So the answer is 125. Trim function is a very much useful function because many times we make a mistake in adding the space between the words. Okay. Suppose if I type I love my school, I may give more space between I and love also, and between love and my also I may give 2, 3 space also. By mistake I can do this thing. So it's a very good function. If you use that function, then it will remove all the extra space from between, and in the output it will leave exact one space between the two words. Syntax is simple, is equal to trim into bracket the cell address. Exit function, being so simple, it is used to solve the complex task. Now exit function is used to compare the string that is lying in two different cells. Now do you know how it could be used? For example, if you have developed a program in which you want the user to enter the password to open certain thing, then password which he had set before will be stored in your file, right? Now you will need to compare that password with the new password which is entering, right, to open that file. So if it matches, then the file should open. So in that type of circumstances, this function could be used. Now how does it work? Exit function compares two strings and returns one if they are exactly the same, and if they are not same, then it returns 0. For example, exit into bracket double quotes blue, comma, double quotes blue, then it returns 1 since it is the same, and if it is different, it will return 0. The syntax is equal to exit into bracket cell 1 comma cell 2 or string 1 comma string 2. So we'll learn the usage of trim function first. Now I have left different spaces between I and love, that is 4 space, and between love and my I have left 3 space, and between my and school I have left only 1 space. So by using this function, the space will become 1 in between all the words. So trim into bracket cell A2. So you can see the result. Fine. Now next thing is comparing the things, right? So here I type blue and here I make mistake in typing blue. Here I type both the words correctly. Fine. Now let's check. Is equal to exit. Text 1, that is A5, comma text 2, that is P5. So here the result is false, while here also the result is false. This is what I wanted to teach you, and that is why I typed this word in all capital and here in small, because if the word is not in, means this thing is case sensitive also, that I could explain you with the help of this example. For example, here I type ABC, ABC, and if I drag, now same text and same case, then it will give true result. There are 2 substring functions in Calc, one for the left side substring and another for the right side substring. The left function returns the first characters from the string text or a specified number of n number of characters starting from the left hand side. For example, if we have typed in one cell name, father's name and surname, we have typed Ram Dasrath Bhai Patel. Okay, now we want to separate the name from that function. Okay, now we have to count how many characters are there in the name. There are 3 characters. So I can type is equal to left into bracket, in the double quotes I have to type this name. Now this is a stupid example which are given in the textbook. We never have to type the text. We have to take the cell reference in which that name is typed, and then you have to add comma and add 3. So it will return the name which is on the left hand side of that cell, that is Ram. So we can say the syntax is equal to left into bracket text comma n, where n specifies the number of characters from the left hand side. Opposite to that of left is right. It does the same thing. The right function returns the character of a specified number of n characters from the end, that is from the right hand side. Syntax is the same, is equal to right into bracket n text comma n. Example is equal to right Ram Dasrath Bhai Patel comma 5. So Patel is on the right hand side, surname is on the right hand side, so it will return Patel. Now the same type of third function is mid function. Calc also provides utility to find middle or find some characters from the middle of a string. The syntax is mid text comma start. Start means from which number of letter do you want to crop the thing. You are familiar with the word crop, cropping the image, right? You want to crop the thing, and then comma and how many characters you want from that starting position, that you have to mention. To extract middle name from the arguments given in the function, this thing is used. Example is equal to mid into bracket the name, that is Ram Dasrath Bhai Patel. Now I want to crop it from 5th letter, RAM 3 letters plus space 4th letter, and I want to crop from 5th. So 5 comma how many letters does Dasrath Bhai contain? 13. So comma 13. These type of functions we feel that they are useless or outdated, but they are very helpful when you want to design a program. In that you will need all these things to create and hack password and so many things to break this string and those all things. That time you will realize the importance of these functions. Now practically I will be teaching you these three functions plus one more function. Start the practicals. One more function, last function of this kind is len function. It is used to measure the length of the given string. The syntax or general form is equal to len into bracket that cell address of that cell or text. For example, if we want to measure the length of a text, is equal to len into bracket and double quotes ram. It will return 3. First we will learn the left function. If we want to exert the words or the letters from the left hand side, we can use this function. Left into bracket cell address A2. How many letters we want to exert? That is 3. Fine. Then second one is right function. Now we want to separate this Patel from that, right? So Patel is of 5 letters. So I click here A3 and comma 5. Now we come to the mid function, and for that is equal to mid. Mid function will take 3 arguments: text, starting number and number of characters. So I click here comma. Now Dasrath Bhai we want to separate from here. So the D starts from 5th character, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5th. So I have to type here 5 comma. This word is of 13 characters, so I type 13. So we get Dasrath Bhai. Now the last thing is measuring the length of this thing. Then len function. It takes only one argument, that is the cell address. Fine, so like this way it is. Now the last topic of this video and of this chapter is time and date functions. Kelsey offers functions for time and date calculations. For calculations that involve shorter period, such as hours, minutes or seconds, you may use the time functions. And for longer period, such as weeks, months or years, you may use date functions. Today function. The today function returns value for the today's date stored in your computer system date. Today is a function without any argument. Means if you see the syntax, you have to straight away type is equal to today brackets open and brackets closed. Now this function is very useful function. For example, if you want to design a bill book, okay, you want to design a bill book using Excel program, then on the one of the corner you have to print the present date, right? So each time if you go to type the date, it will waste time. You may make mistake while preparing all the bills. But in that cell, if you store this function, that is equal to today, then any bill you print, it will print the present day's date only without any mistake. The next function is date function. The date function returns the valid date for the given number of year, month and day. For example, is equal to date into bracket 2020, 1, 1. Then the function will return 01/01/2020. The syntax is date into bracket year, month, day. Now you may be feeling that this is a hopeless, useless function, but it's not the fact. I will teach you the importance of this function when we come to practicals. Day function. The day function is used to convert a date given in any recognizable format into a day of the month. Example, if today's date is 9th July 2030, I type is equal to day into bracket today. Today function is used for displaying the present date, comma. Then the function will return 9, that is 9th day of this month. So the syntax is equal to day into bracket date. Now month function. Just now as we had separated day from the date, same way month function is used to separate the month. The month function is used to convert a valid date into the month number. For example, is equal to month. Date is so and so, then it will return 7. Year function is also same like the previous two functions. The year function is used to convert a valid date into the year number. That is, here in this example, it will return 2020. So first we will be learning the today function. Now as I told you, this type of function is useful in printing the date on the bill book or something like that way. It doesn't take any argument today, so it will give present day's date. Then we come to date function. Now how does the date function works? In date function, I have to type like this way, that first I take 3 values here. This value will be displaying the day, this month, and this year. Okay. Now here I will take the output. Now here I type day 1, month 1, year 2010. Now I use the date function. So first argument it will take will be year. Next argument month, and then day. So it will give the output like this way. Now as I told you just now when I was explaining this thing, that it is not a useless function. For example, if you want to note down some special dates, okay, then instead of typing those dates here, you can type here that, for example, so and so year and so date, right? And then you can use this function. So here you are just typing the numbers, that is that day, this month, this year, and here it converts it into a proper format. Now the next thing is day, month and year. Fine. Now what does this function do? Let's check. Is equal to day. First we are learning day function. Then when we enter a serial number, it will display the date, but I entered today. Today function. Then it gives that today is 10th date, right? Fine. So 10th number of day of this month. Then same thing, we use the same thing, that is month and today function. Then it will separate the month and give us the month in the output. This function is also very useful. Year, then here what will come? Today. Why it is not working? Because I have forgotten to type is equal to. Fine. So like this way this function is used. Now function. Now we had seen the today's function. Same way is now function. The now function returns value for the today's date and time also stored in the system. Now is a function without any argument, same way like today, and the syntax is equal to now bracket open bracket close. In today it was only displaying the date, while here after the date it will also display the time. Now we come to days function. Days function is a very interesting function. It is used to calculate the number of days between two dates. For example, if you want to measure that day is my friend's birthday, so how many days are left in between, then you can use this function. If you want to count that you are how many days old, right? Years you know, but exactly how many days are you, then that also you can find in this using this function. And if you store this function in such a way that inside if you use the date as today, then every day as the birthday is coming closer, okay, the this thing also will change. So the syntax is equal to days into bracket ending date comma start date. It will return the number of days. Now function is just simple like today's function. It doesn't take any argument. It returns the date and time, that is the present date and time. Now days function is very useful. For example, here you type your exam date, okay, and here you type present day, okay. You have to enter two dates. For example, my exams are on say 20/12/2020, right? Now in present date I type today. I don't type the real date, but I use the function today, okay. Now we are going to learn the function called days. Now see, days and day, both the functions are different. Here the function name is days into bracket end date. Now which is the end date, this or this? This is the end date. So B5 comma start date, that is today, okay. So it will give the answer that 163 days are left. Now since here we have not typed the date and we have used the function, so every day when you open the computer, this date will go on, this thing will go on changing, this units will go on changing. So exactly we will come to know that there are how many days are left. Now the function is days in year. Now this function is not present in MS Excel. Now what does this function do? It returns the number of days in the year presented by a given date within the function. Now the usage of this function is to find whether a year is a leap year or not. The syntax is equal to days in a year, and then you have to type a valid date inside that bracket. Weeks function, this is also not present in MS Excel. The weeks function calculates the number of weeks between the two dates. The syntax is weeks into bracket